The customer is always right. The customer is the king. Can I be very, very straightforward with you? That's bullshit. And yes, I'm saying it is bullshit. Let me tell you why I'm saying it's bullshit. This was applicable and made sense probably in the 1950s and 1970s when the world was very different, like the way it worked compared to what works right now. The world at that point of time had lesser opportunities, and obviously people were willing to stick on and serve customers simply because everybody need to make a living. But in today's world, the opportunity is so much. Of course, I'm not saying it's easy. It's always going to be tough. But that doesn't mean the customer is right. That doesn't mean your customer is a king. And that's the mindset which people have, because of which most business owners compromise on their own value system, compromise on what they need from the equation with their customer, give in to their customer, and after a period of time they wonder why they did it in the first place. Just because you want to earn money. Now let me be very clear with you that with this kind of an attitude that the customer is always right and the customer is always a king, and if you are operating with a customer who behaves like that, go back and see. It's that kind of customer, honestly, with whom your experience of working is not that great, and actually the money you're making is not worth it. Think about it, because only when a customer understands this entire ethical philosophy that they can't treat you badly, only then those are the kind of customers who actually you gain benefit from and you gain value from. Because think about this, if your customer is a king, what does that make you? Are you your customer slave? Is that how you want to play the game? Because if you play the game by being your customer's slave, I promise you this, your customer will treat you like a slave. And in all the past experiences you've had, when you've been treated that way, where people are derogatory, people are rude, people squeeze the juice out of you just because they want to extract as much return for the money you're paying them. Sometimes people behave like they own you. Like just because they've paid you money, that means they can ask for whatever they want. And I'm sure all of you have faced such kind of experiences before. Go back and really evaluate. Have you really made money in the equation compared to the effort you've put in? Honestly, you've given in because of desperation. And I know so many entrepreneurs who've done that because they're desperate at that point in time, because they need the deal, they're willing to do whatever the customers say, and then they repent, they regret, because it's not win-win. The philosophy of business is win-win, which means, does the customer have to win? 100%. I'm not saying do not give importance to what your customer needs. You need to make sure your customer wins, but you also have to win. Otherwise, why are you doing this in the first place? So the customer cannot be your king, because that makes you a slave. The customer is your friend, which means it's an equal partnership. No one is doing you a favor by paying you money. You need to be very, very clear. When they are paying you money, you are providing a product and service in exchange for that money and adding value to them. Alright? So that's one. And at the end of the day, the customer is also not always right, because half the time customers do not know what they want. You need to educate the customer as to what is right and what is wrong, and therefore take it forward with them. Because if they knew what they wanted, they wouldn't come to you, my friend. So more often than not, customers are wrong. You got to educate them. Do not walk in with the attitude and say that, okay, if my customer says, I have to do. It's okay for you to question. It's okay for you to challenge. Do it with respect. Don't be arrogant. But also don't let the other person be arrogant, because it's unfair to you. Here's my sincere belief. Customers also need ethics. Customers need to be taught how to behave, because every customer to you also is dealing with another customer. Think about it. And they won't like to be treated in the way they treat you. You need to make sure that you're keeping that ethical standard in place, so that everybody is keeping that standard of respect and mutual dignity with each other. And if someone is not giving you that respect, then honestly you got to call them out for it, because you're doing your bit, you are professional, and you expect the same from them. Because like how you have a customer, they too have a customer. So stop believing this nonsense that customer is a king and customer is always right. Your customer needs ethics. Treat them the way you want. Treat them in a good way, but make sure they treat you the same way. Otherwise, it's not worth it, because at the end of the day, it's win, win, win. Don't be a slave. Be a friend. With that, this is Karan Asija signing off. Share this with as many people as possible, so they also stop treating their customers as a king. And if you face challenges in this area, please share it in the comment section. I would love to give you my insights. So I'm going to see you in my next video.